I'm going to be showing you around the new Lifeline Universe app, because there's not been much, if any, information given from Lifeline HQ about what the app actually entails, besides some sort of vague advertisements for the new stories and art styles. But nothing about the actual gameplay, because there have been many significant changes to how the games work, including the old ones that are now part of the app. First thing is that Lifeline Universe does require a stable internet connection. And I just mentioned, just before I go onto here, I am playing on an emulator called Nox for Android, because I personally do have an iPhone, but I wanted to test out and see what the whole app is about. And so you'll be able to see this as well. So first off, it does require an internet connection, and if your internet is slow or it dips out, the game will crash. And also the main major difference from the other Lifeline games is that this is now run completely on microtransactions. As you can see, you do get daily bonuses, and this is bugged, but like I got 2 coins and a fair bit of crystals. This is not usual. You normally get maybe 5 crystals. And I have actually been saving up for the past 3 weeks, getting the daily login bonuses and all the freebies, the rewards from doing the freebies, which I'll get to. So this is actually a significant amount. If you go to the store, you can hear the music going up now. 18 coins is worth $5 in US dollars. And 1 coin is worth 10 crystals. You can watch an ad to get crystals as well. Crystals are used for premium choices, and coins are used to unlock chapters of the games. Now, this might not make much sense if you haven't been following around all of the screenshots and discussion in the Lifeline fan server on Discord, or been looking on like the Zendesk website, but I'll just show you around. So the main difference is that now everything is in chapter format, and there are games, there's quite a lot of games that they have out now. So you'll have Feature Perfect, which is one of the new games. I have not played it, but it's in a visual novel style, and all of these are now in chapter format, so you have to pay 3 coins to play a chapter. And there are achievements in the chapter and a little progress bar at the bottom. There's also summaries for each chapter, and the summaries are fairly full of spoilers. Like, I have some feeling that something bad will happen to Synthlight and Kara at the end of chapter 3, due to the fact that chapter 4 says what will become of Synthlight and Kara. So that's a little spoilery. And in addition, not all the chapters are released at the same time, because you can see that chapter 5 or version 5 is not it's not open. You can't play it. But it requires coins to unlock, and yeah. I'm not going to play this one yet because I'm saving up for Bad Astronaut, which I will get to. I'll get to that last because I have a lot to say on that one. There are some other games like Prisoner 6, which this one's told in the original Lifeline format, where it's just completely text-based, and you're communicating with someone on a telephone. But once again, it's in chapter format. You have descriptions, and sometimes like pretty spoilery stuff happens. Now, one major thing is that you cannot replay a chapter that you've already played, or even look back at a chapter that you have played and bought with your coins without paying another coin. Like, if I wanted to reread the story that I played through for Prisoner 6 in the first chapter, it costs 1 coin, and I can't reread what I did. I have to make new choices, even though the achievements and the in-app purchases of the premium choices have been saved, which basically you're renting a game now off of their main online server rather than buying a game to download on your phone and play whenever you want, and replay and look at all the different branching paths that the authors have written, which I think is like one of the most fun parts of the game. In addition, there's also no fast mode anymore, or it's not, sorry, not there's no fast mode, it is entirely fast mode. All of them, all the Lifeline-esque games, like even like these games, the original Green series, it's all fast mode. There's not like the 5-minute waits, or my favorite part, honestly, with Arica, where she goes away for like about 8 hours and disappears on you, and you start wondering and worrying about what happened with her. But no, it's just like fast mode. It's like 5 seconds and then she's back. Or like the waiting in Silent Night while Taylor's waiting for the crystals for the explosives, or the explosives to form. It's like 5 seconds rather than like a real-time wait. And in addition, there are also timers. Like if you played Whiteout 2 a year ago, pretty much, in the library, Lifeline library, you notice that there were timers that came up during the normal, like Adams is busy or Taylor is busy parts. And it has like a little ad saying, watch this ad to skip forward, or you have to wait 30 minutes and there's a countdown timer, which ruins the immersion that I believe a lot of people just loved about the games, how it went and played throughout a day or played throughout 3 days, rather than just being, hey look, here's a timer. And I will probably be able to show you this. One thing I do want to point out, though, is that there was the whole big Twitter thing, or Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook that Lifeline HQ put out, talking about how there's the final chapter of Lifeline. No, it's not. It's the final chapter of the original Lifeline game was being put onto the app itself. And so, yeah, this one used to be locked as of like a couple hours ago. And so I played the first chapter because it was free, but if I want to play it again, it costs a coin. And if I want to play the other 2 chapters, it costs 2 more coins for each chapter. Now, yeah, they're in chapter format. You don't get the waits for, did Taylor survive overnight? Or do they get radiation poisoning in the morning? No, you just go on to the next chapter. And because I have not played chapter 2, because I'm not spending 2 coins on I'm not going to spend 2 coins to play a game that I've already bought. I don't know how the variables are ported over, such as Taylor, whether or not Taylor eats the rat pellets or Taylor eats the MREs, or how Taylor lives or survives the next morning with the radiation poisoning or freezing out in the ship. So, yeah, there's also the major spoilers here. I mean, it's vague, but when new companies detected, yeah. So there's the new thing that's coming out with Taylor is Bad Astronaut. It's not the final chapter of the Lifeline games. It felt very, their tweet felt very intentionally misleading personally, but yeah. Some of the Green Series games are on here. You do have to pay them again. However, Bloodline's in 1 chapter. Silent Night's in 1 chapter. Flatline is in many chapters. And we calculate the cost of the coins for each of these chapters, and they do amount to being more than it would cost to buy the game by itself. Yeah, then you can get, this is the new one, there's not much about it. Yeah. So they do have freebies, which are first chapters of the games that you can play. Like Whiteout 2 Chapter 1 is a freebie. And all of this. And so you can play the first chapter of some of these games free, and they're on a cycling basis. So you can test them out. Like, I've already played Shoreline, when it was on a freebie cycle like 2 weeks ago, so I'll have to rewind. But this is another thing that's very much changed from the original games. First off, the format is in more of a visual novel style. Here. So I can rewind to a checkpoint, to the last checkpoint, for free. But if I want to rewind past that, it takes 2 crystals to rewind. So you can't rewind on every choice, and you can't rewind for free on every choice. Also, you can see here how the text is very difficult to read. This is not how it's supposed to look. There is a graphics that didn't load quite right, and I think it's partially to blame for the emulator is partially to blame, but someone who has an Android phone has also gotten this issue. So I'll rewind here for free so you can see what this visual novel style actually looks like. So you're trying to help her. She was shipwrecked on an island. Her name's Naomi. And I'm just going to read what she says. There are lots of different color flashings for her emotions, which personally I find a little annoying and unnecessary, but your mileage may vary. So, hey, I'm back. Sorry. About before. So here you go. There are now 3 choices usually in these games rather than only the 2 choices. But you can see here, right here, here is a premium choice. It costs about 10 crystals. However, one of them in Fool's Gold, sorry, tongue twister, actually cost 20 crystals, which is double the usual amount. I'm not going to click it because I'm saving everything up for a bad astronaut, but here is a premium choice, so I guess it makes her like you a bit more because, I don't know. It's okay. Thanks. I know I've been a little flippant, like everything is going to be okay. But I figured it was obvious that it was all a coping mechanism. And well, I'm not really coping. Just, there are times when I'm going to have to make my own decisions for my own reasons. And it's not that I don't appreciate you being here. Well, explaining can be a little tougher than I can handle right now. Is that okay? Well, I guess not. I was just hoping. Never mind. I'll let you know once I've found the river. Silence and static. And here you have the first timer. So in 29 minutes and 45 seconds, roughly, we'll know what happens to Naomi, whether or not she finds the river or, I don't know, breaks her leg on the way. Who knows? It takes a lot of the immersion out because the timers will pop up before, like, the text is, you're finished reading the text. And it's a bit of an immersion break, so you can say, no thanks, I'll wait, but you're stuck on the screen. Now so rewind to here. Oh, well, there's a glitch that if you click twice, you can skip the ads, but I think that'll get fixed. Haha. Yes. Sweet pure water. Ha. I found the river. It's so beautiful. Crystal clear. Just wide enough to jump. I'm just going to skip ahead because it's... I don't want to make this too long. Oh, there's always a calm before the storm. So then you click End Chapter. And you have your achievements. And you get like 1 coin, or 2 crystals, or 4 crystals, depending on what you do. There's also some spoilers. So, yeah. And so then it gives you an ad to play the next one, but it costs 3 coins to play the next chapter, or to replay the chapter, it costs 1 coin. I can't go back and play from the beginning without paying extra money. Also, that's the new style. That is for many of the new games, as well as the new Taylor game. Another thing I should point out, on the run, should probably have some content warnings, or or there should be more warnings for, like, this is rated teen, because currently none of them have any warnings or any different ratings. And On the Run does deal with cults, and it deals with like forced marriages and some other stuff that, while none of that is like personally unsettling to me, I can definitely see how people can be unsettled by it, and I was even uncomfortable playing it. I also I didn't think it was written well enough, as well as the chapter descriptions, to make it feel like there was going to be enough sensitivity for the subject, but I've only played the first chapter. One thing though is that if you go on the freebie menu and enter it, you don't even get a description of what it is, so you don't know that it's about cults, you don't know about anything. So I'm not going to go and play this because I don't feel like it. But it's also told in the first person. It's not helping Jillian escape from the cult. It's your choices are her thoughts or what she does. It's not Lifeline, like you're not acting as her Lifeline, you're acting as Jillian. So I don't know, it didn't I'm not a fan of it at all. For the original games, they are formatted differently. They aren't in, like, Bloodline is not in like the really nice scripted text that appears like blood from the parchment paper. It's in like the Halfway to Infinity text style. It's different and it's not the same, and it doesn't have slow mode, and you can't rewind wherever you want. Oh, Whiteout 2. I should mention Whiteout 2 because it's been literally a year, pretty much. It's on here. They're all on here. All 4 chapters. So it's 4 chapters, it's finally arrived. Massive spoilers, of course, here. Not massive, but, I mean. So chapter 1, it's exactly the same as on the library, however there are issues in the text format, where Lilith and Adams and the intercoms text colors are all exactly the same, so it's really difficult to tell it apart. It's fixed in chapter 2 as far as I know. And then chapter 3 and chapter 4, I think it's fixed, but I'm not entirely sure if all the variables ported over correctly. Like, I believe that there was an issue with like how you enter your name didn't actually make it to chapter 4. But I personally have not played it because I'm saving up my coins for Bad Astronaut. Yeah, it's a really buggy app where several people got stuck in an infinite time loop in chapter 2, where it would like be near the end of the chapter, but not quite. And then Adams would say, "Oh, hi there, hello, I'm checking back in with you. I'm just about to go and like do the beginning of the chapter." And it was frustrating to no end for people because it would go on for hours and hours, and you couldn't break through the time loop, except by sheer persistence and determination. But from the couple people who have played it, it said it was pretty good. So I really hope that they release it to iOS really soon. Oh, Whiteout 2 does not have premium choices in it. It does have the chapter unlock and chapter replay costs. And it does have the timers that you have to skip, and there's no slow mode involved. Which has apparently led to some unintentionally hilarious moments where the level of introspection should be like, I don't know, maybe a couple minutes, but it's instead like 4 seconds of being like sad, which is kind of funny. Just because it's not, I'm pretty sure this is not the way that the writers of the game like expected it to be played. Yeah, it's pretty buggy though. This is not just me on an emulator. A lot of people have submitted bug reports. Like, see, this one doesn't even load, this picture, but it's Silent Night. So, also, I love how I have 15 out of 7 achievements for this game. I think that's fantastic. Dripping Fog are the only ones so far released that actually are written in the original Lifeline format. They still have fast mode, they still have premium choices that do affect the plot, or give you more information about it, which I very much dislike the premium choices aspect of it, because it breaks the immersion that we all love from the Lifeline games. Now, the one that everyone's probably excited about is called Bad Astronaut. It is the new Taylor and T2 game. This is a direct sequel to Halfway to Infinity. This is the one I know we're all pretty much looking forward to, and I'm excited about this as well. A couple people have been able to glitch in and were able to read a couple chapters of it. One person was able to read up to chapter 7. Do not ask me how to do it. If I did, I would have been playing this game a while ago. I don't know, you can't do it. So, you'll notice that this game is written by Caitlin Tremblay, and not Dave Justice, who wrote the original Taylor games as well as Bloodline, but he had to take a pass on actually writing this game for personal reasons. But he did say that he submitted an outline, but he doesn't know how much of it got used for this actual story. This one is, from the information I know, from screenshots, a couple screenshots, and from the couple people who have played it, it's told in the same visual novel format as like On the Run and Shoreline and Fool's Gold, and probably like all of the other like very new ones like the Witch's Coven or whatever it is. So it's not in the original Lifeline text format, which I am sorely disappointed about because I love that format. But it does have Taylor and it does have T2 as characters, and you do get to talk to T2, which I think is fantastic. But you can't play it yet, it's locked. I sincerely hope they will get Lifeline Universe out on iOS before they release this game. I think it would be very unfair to all iOS users to not be able to play this game at the same time, considering this is, besides Whiteout 2, the game everyone's waiting for. I mean, come on. One thing is, the game does have spoilers for every single chapter. The clock is ticking, hurry and make friends with Helpbot. Helpbot's a character. Who do you trust? Your mission begins. No time to waste, are the green nearby? Too many Taylors is definitely not helping. Something fishy's going on. Helpbot may not be helpful. Who the hell is this? And also, like, what the hell is this alien? But I don't know. I haven't played this, I don't know. But there's also a massive spoiler here that I don't think is really necessary to put in. Wounded and barely breathing, can Taylor finally escape the Celadon Ace? Which is the ship that they end up on. Spoilers, sorry. I mean, it's not like you can't tell that they're on the ship through all the screenshots and stuff like that. But anyway, I find the spoilers in the chapters are very unnecessary and kind of ruin like the immersiveness of what's going to happen next. It's also told in chapter format, as you can tell, with rewinds costing money, premium choices, and paying to replay a chapter and not being able to look back at a chapter. Yeah. So the one thing is this information I only know secondhand. I have not personally played it. But apparently the premium choices in Bad Astronaut are actually like crucial to the story, and if you don't pick them, you will have plot holes later on. So they're sort of absolutely necessary in order to understand and enjoy the game, which I personally think is pretty unfair. Because of the premium choices and because of the chapter format of these games, we calculated out the cost of these games, and especially the cost of Bad Astronaut. If you're not getting any free coins or free quick crystals from the freebies or from the dailies, but if you just buy it straight up with all of the premium choices and chapter stuff. And it turns out to be $10. Like, it literally turns out to be 37 coins. I'm not kidding, it's a $10 game if you do all the premium choices, and you are playing it once. This is not a game that you can rewind. You have to pay to rewind, and you can play it once. And the $10 comes from the fact that there are 8 chapters, and each chapter is 3 coins each. So that would be 24 coins. However, you do get a coin as like an automatic reward for completing a chapter. So to unlock all the chapters at once, or as you go to play through it in one sitting, would be 17 coins, because you will make up the other 7 coins by playing chapters 1 through 7. Additionally, at an average of, let's say, 3 premium choices per chapter for 8 chapters, and let's say that they're 10 crystals each, even though we do have proof that there has been a premium choice for 20 crystals. So to lowball the estimate of how many crystals it'll take to unlock every premium choice in Bad Astronaut so that you don't have plot holes, will take 140 crystals, and then a couple more probably for the extra ones that might cost 20 crystals. So you need 240 crystals and 17 coins, which, if you start from 0, to get the crystals, you need to buy 2 amethyst packs, so that would be 20 coins, and you'll get 10 crystals as change. So that's 20 coins total, plus the 17 that you need to unlock the chapters, using the coin you get back at each chapter to play the next chapter. You will use 37 coins, which is $9.99 in US dollars. That, personally, to me, is a lot to rent a game. Because this is only playing it through once. This is not counting if you want to replay a chapter just for fun or just to make a different choice. It's one playthrough. Mainly, there's microtransactions to run the whole thing. There's no rating system or like content warnings. It requires constant internet connection. The chapter model contains spoilers and lack of immersion. It's all fast mode, and any waits are in timers and ads. That leads to no more uncertainty of when they're actually going to check back. The new Taylor game is in the new visual novel style, like I showed you in Shoreline, and I think it's the same as in Fool's Gold, and On the Run, and Crypt Sword, and I imagine Future Perfect. It costs money to buy a chapter, or to rent a chapter, because it also costs money to replay a chapter. You can't rewind past a checkpoint, and you can only rewind 2 checkpoints. Yeah, and so I hope that, and basically, this is probably pretty long, but I really do hope that this shows what this app is all about, because there hasn't been any gameplay information released by Lifeline HQ. And I just wanted to clear it up because iOS users will not be able to see this unless they download an emulator like I did. I really hope this is helpful, and if you have any questions, just let me know or ask around. So thanks!